All right, so you've got your Flipper Zero, and emulating an RFID card is pretty cool, right? But what happens when you need an actual physical copy? Well, that's the next level, and that's exactly what we're going to break down right now.
This is the big question, isn't it? You've already done the hard part. You've read the data. You've got it saved on your Flipper. But how do you get it from that digital file into something you can hold in your hand? Turns out the answer is way simpler than you might think.
And this is your new best friend, the T5577 tag. Now, these are 125 kilohertz tags, and they are the absolute key to making all of this happen. See, they're not just blank plastic. They're basically tiny little emulator chips. That means they can pretend to be a bunch of different low-frequency card types. If you're getting serious about RFID, these are not optional, they are essential.
Okay, but before we get into the fun cloning stuff, we have to tackle the very first problem almost everybody runs into. You get a fresh bag of these tags, you try to read one with your Flipper, and you get nothing. And yeah, it's incredibly frustrating. You see this comment everywhere online. People are totally convinced they got a bad batch of tags, or maybe their Flipper is on the fritz. But listen, I'm telling you 99% of the time, your Flipper is fine and your tags are perfectly fine too. So here's the secret. The tag isn't broken, it's just empty. The best way to think about it is like this. You can look at a blank sheet of paper and see that it's there, but you can't read it, right? Because there's nothing on it to read. It is the exact same idea with these tags. Your Flipper is smart. It knows a tag is nearby. But when it asks, hey, what data are you holding? The tag has no answer to give. They show up from the factory completely blank, totally ready for you to write data to them. So let's actually go ahead and do that. All right, now for the main event, cloning your very first tag. We are going to turn one of those saved digital files into a working physical copy. And it's just 3 simple steps. It's so easy once you know the trick. First up, you read your original card. For this example, we'll use a paradox tag, and you save it on your Flipper. Easy. Second, you go to that file, select Write, and then you just hold a blank T5577 tag up to your Flipper. And third, and you cannot skip this step, this is crucial, you have to verify. Read the new tag you just wrote to make sure the data copied over perfectly. And just like that, you've got yourself a successful clone. But here's where things get really cool. You're not just making a one-time copy. These T5577 tags are unbelievably versatile, which makes them super cheap to use and just perfect for messing around and experimenting. So let's say you've got that paradox tag clone, but now you need a copy of a totally different card for a different project. Do you need to grab a new blank T5577 tag? Nope, not at all. And this just shows you how powerful they are. You can take that exact same tag that was a paradox clone a minute ago, read a completely different card, like this HID Prox Card 2, and just write the new data right over the old stuff. Because it's an emulator chip, it doesn't care what it was before. The T5577 tag just instantly becomes a perfect clone of the new card. So, we've cloned and we've rewritten. But you know what? The T5577 tag has one more awesome trick up its sleeve. And this unlocks the ultimate level of flexibility. That's right, you heard me. Everything we've talked about so far has been about copying cards that already exist. But the real game changer here is that you can create a brand new, fully functional RFID card completely from scratch. And the process is so simple. You just go into your Flipper's menu, go to Add Manually, pick a card format, say Carry, and the Flipper will just generate valid data for you. Then you just write that data to a blank T5577 tag. Bam! You've just created a physical credential that literally did not exist a minute ago. So when you think about it, we went from solving that unreadable tag mystery, to cloning, to rewriting, and even to creating cards out of thin air. It's pretty clear that these T5577 tags aren't just some nice little accessory. They are a fundamental, must-have part of the toolkit for anyone who's exploring RFID with their Flipper. This just opens up a whole world of possibilities, for testing, for development, or just for being curious. So really, the final question isn't how to do it anymore. It's what are you going to choose to create with this new skill? Happy exploring.